should avoid sugar, obviously, on all different forms, from pretty straightforward sugar that you find on sweets and synthetic. I call them synthetic because they're from concentrate, fruit juice. If you're having your fruit juice made fresh with your juicer, that's fine. But if you have those on carton, it's mostly plain sugar. Refined carbs, they're a type of sugar too. So white bread, white pasta, always choose an wholemeal one. Always choose foods that are rich on fibers. So we are integrating fibers, which will give you example B complex, which is completely destroyed when you're getting white flour. So you don't just not get the B complex by utilizing the B complex you get from other food to digest that white flour. So it's a big no-no. Always opt for an wholemeal one. Desserts, and they're having just plain sugar, like ice creams or cakes or cookies. Once in a while, it's fine, but trying to don't get too many of those in your diet. Obviously, processed meat, and like hot dog and sausages, they're full of preservatives. They are full of all the toxins to keep them together, to don't demolish as nature intended, because meat's supposed to degrade over time. So obviously you can see there is a problem with this preserved meat. Also, they have a very huge amount of salt, which is never good for your blood pressure. So thank you, Lucia. Thank you. So another thing that you should avoid is processed snacks like crackers, chips, pretzel. They normally have a lot of saturated fat, which they're not particularly good for your health, and they have a lot of those fats that actually can be processed. So they can deposit visceral-wise, or they can give you some intestinal problem. Avoid products and then they are synthetics. Those ones then they have dyes. Those ones then they have synthetic sugars. Those ones then they have preservatives in general, because they are toxic to your body. Let's face it, they are toxic. They look amazing. They probably taste amazing because we are now programmed to eat all this junk, but they definitely weaken our gut barrier, and they aggravate inflammation by allowing particles that they shouldn't be on the blood circulation, and they generate inflammation themselves. Avoid processed fat like margarine or trans fats. They are all very, very difficult for your body to process, and you put a lot of weight in your liver. Rice cake, oat cakes, okay or not? Oat cakes, yes, because they are a slow release of energy carbs. Obviously, wholemeal. Okay, so don't go for like plain oat flour. Rice cake, I will be a little bit more cautious. They are quite refined often, unless you go for an all rice cake. So then they also have the husks in that. There is plenty of brands, and they do mix cereal. So if you like, I personally love them. It's my classical snack middle of the day with a little bit of cashew butter example, but I'm making sure that my rice cake, they have multi-grains inside, and they are all grains as well. So I'm not saying, and I will never say, avoid completely any type of food, okay? Because as much example, a saturated fat, they might be dangerous for your diet. They are dangerous only if you abuse them. And the same goes for the white pasta or the rice cake. If you abuse them, if that is the main part of your diet, obviously will have an impact. Once in a while, it's fine. Low portion, they are okay. Also because the one thing that I hate is having the cravings. So sometimes I want something, I will have it, but I will be moderated. And that's the main important thing. The same goes, example, for alcohol. I'm not saying avoid completely the alcohol. A good glass of wine, and we'll see that in the next slide, it's really beneficial. But obviously the full bottle is not going to be beneficial for your liver. So everything in moderation, as the grandmas used to say, everything proportionally. So it's really important in your diet, it's variegated, and you get a little bit of everything, as much as you avoid, example, dyes or preservatives or this kind of synthetics, then we don't need. But everything from the natural world, have it in moderation.